If you have a date with a 24-year-old girl. I was 23 when I had my first boyfriend and he was my first time. I was very honest with him about my lack of experience because I wanted someone that wanted me for me. He didn't have any false notions about who I was. He also made me feel incredibly comfortable to be that vulnerable with him. We were together a little under a year, but I am forever thankful to him for showing me what I should expect from a good man. I do want to know before the sex occurs simply so I can be cautious in case their hymen is intact. I do want to make it pleasurable as possible, and a warning would enable me to ensure I put her at ease and don't cause any unnecessary discomfort. I would want to know, just because it means we're handling the night in a totally different way. Should definitely communicate it. It isn't a red flag though, even if they will be able to tell. Sex is a skill and someone's first time is extremely evident. Communicating in a relationship is also a skill. If she feels like that's something I should know, she's free to tell me whenever she's comfortable with doing so. Personally, I wouldn't care if she's a virgin and has not had a boyfriend before. There's a first time for everything for everyone. TBH, I let this be known pretty early on. I'm not on any timeline when it comes to hopping in bed with a guy, and I need that to be known. Usually dating history comes up before becoming official, and I make my lack of history public information. No shame, and if someone wants to shame me for JT, I want nothing to do with them. Most definitely communication is key. Let the person know, talk to him or her. Most men would be lucky to have a girl like that, but just talk. First of all, if it's her first time or not. We are not sleeping together until she's comfortable. Communicate with me on how you feel because I'm not a mind reader. Without talking with either other, the relationship will fail. My personal opinion is that if they want to know, then they should ask. If they don't ask, then it must not be that important to them. Is it important to you? A lot of people place a lot of emphasis on their first. If you fall into that category, you may want to take the initiative yourself to discuss it. If it's not a big deal to you, then just wait for if when they ask. Personally, I would want to know the first time we discussed actually doing the task so I can respect her and make the foreplay last longer to help her. 24 is too young for my taste, but if we ignore that, I don't care if you have had 100 partners or 0. What counts is if we like each other and that the sex gets good. With that said, would be an honor to take a person's virginity. I see it as a big sign of trust and a nice ego boost. Hee. Being a virgin used to be a virtue and used to be very respected. Nowadays it's a red flag, and people are wondering what happened with the dating. Have you and your girlfriend discussed this in depth together? Clear, concise, transparent, effective, and honest communication makes all the difference, as well as a willingness to sit down together and have difficult conversations. If you can't do this effectively, then perhaps you're just not ready for this relationship yet. I don't know, I've just come to realize that sometimes we are just too self-conscious, and in the process of being self-conscious, we steer away from our nature, how we are supposed to be, and who we are supposed to align with in our life. The right person will never judge you for anything. Please try to reflect on your individuality. Your individuality is what makes you. You try to understand this from a micro perspective, how causality works, and how it is impacting our entire generation. Period. It's a turn on. I'd be honored to be someone's first boyfriend, but I'd also feel responsible, so I don't do something that hurts them in a way that affects all the other relationships they have. Not a red flag. It's practically a fantasy to be someone's first, but it's also very important to know you're someone's first. Sex between adults is great. Play safe. Use excellent slippery lube lubricant like gun oil sold at adult stores. This just sounds like bragging. Would like to know upfront she's a virgin and I'm her first BF, but not a red flag. Hiding it would be the red flag.